My name is Ryan, and this is the story of one of the most infamous crime cases in American history, the Amityville murders of 1974. A case that has been wrapped in mystery, speculation, and terror for decades. This isn't just another crime story, this is a horrifying event that shook an entire town and became the foundation of one of the most terrifying hauntings ever recorded. But before we get lost in the supernatural claims, let's start where the real horror begins, with the brutal murder of an entire family at the hands of their own son. On November 13, 1974, the quiet suburban neighborhood of Amityville, New York, became the scene of an unthinkable crime. The DeFeo family, Father Ronald Sr., Mother Louise, and their children, Dawn, Allison, Mark, John, and Ronald Jr., known as Butch, lived in a large Dutch colonial house at 112 Ocean Avenue. They seemed to be a regular middle-class family. But beneath the surface, tensions were brewing, and one night, it all came to a violent end. Around 3:15 a.m., Butch DeFeo took a .35 caliber Marlin rifle and systematically executed his entire family while they slept. Each victim was found lying face down in their beds. The father and mother were shot twice, while each of the 4 children was killed with a single gunshot. No one fought back. No one even tried to escape. How was that possible? The immediate aftermath of the killings sent shockwaves through the small community. Who could have done such a thing? And why? It wouldn't take long for the truth to unravel. The next day, Butch DeFeo ran into a local bar, screaming for help. He claimed his family had been killed in a mob hit, blaming notorious mafia members. But the police quickly became suspicious. His story was inconsistent, and he couldn't keep his details straight. Within 24 hours, his lies began to crumble, and under intense questioning, he finally confessed. He admitted to slaughtering his family but gave conflicting reasons. Sometimes, he claimed he was possessed. Other times, he said his father was abusive, and he simply snapped. Another version of his story suggested he committed the murders for financial gain, as he had hoped to claim the family's life insurance money. But even his motive wasn't clear-cut, and his erratic behavior raised more questions than answers. During his trial in 1975, his defense team attempted to argue insanity. Butch claimed to have heard voices in the house that urged him to kill. However, psychiatric evaluations concluded that while he had an antisocial personality disorder, he was fully aware of his actions. The jury found him guilty of 6 counts of second-degree murder, and he was sentenced to 6 consecutive life terms. Despite the conviction, many questions remain unanswered. Why didn't the neighbors hear the gunshots? The rifle used in the crime had no silencer, yet no one reported hearing loud gunfire in the middle of the night. Why were all the victims found face down in their beds with no signs of struggle? Could one person have done all of this alone? Some have suggested that Butch had an accomplice, possibly his sister Dawn, but nothing was ever proven. Over the years, Butch himself changed his story multiple times, at one point claiming his sister killed their siblings before he shot her in self-defense. Another version suggested that a mysterious shadowy figure was involved. Each retelling only deepened the mystery rather than solving it. The DeFeo murders were terrifying enough on their own, but what happened next turned the case into legend. A year after the killings, the house was bought by George and Kathy Lutz. They moved in with their 3 children, hoping for a fresh start. What they got instead was 28 days of pure terror. The Lutz family claimed they were tormented by paranormal activity, strange noises, foul odors, and bizarre cold spots. They reported objects moving on their own, green slime oozing from the walls, and terrifying apparitions appearing in the night. The most infamous claim came from George Lutz, who said he would wake up at exactly 3:15 a.m. every night, the same time Butch had committed the murders. The haunting was so intense that the Lutz family fled in the middle of the night, leaving their belongings behind. Their story later became the basis for the best-selling book The Amityville Horror and several horror films. But skeptics have long questioned their claims, suggesting it was all an elaborate hoax to profit off the tragedy. Despite endless debates over the legitimacy of the haunting, the murders remain a chilling and very real crime. Ronald DeFeo Jr. spent the rest of his life in prison, dying in 2021 at the age of 69. the house at 112 Ocean Avenue has changed owners multiple times, with some insisting it's just a home with a dark past and others believing it still harbors something sinister. Regardless of where you stand on the supernatural, one thing is certain: the Amityville murders will forever be one of the most disturbing true crime cases in history. What do you think? K. Was Butch truly possessed, or was he simply a cold-blooded killer? Do you believe the Lutz family's story, or was it all a publicity stunt? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. If you enjoy these deep dives into the darkest corners of crime history, be sure to subscribe and follow us for more real-life horror stories. Until next time, stay safe and stay vigilant, because you never know what's lurking behind the tape.